Hello and welcome to our podcast. I'm Danny, and today Great.com talks with Birgit Debele, Head of Marketing and Communications of Reach for a Dream. If you haven't heard of it yet, Reach for a Dream seeks to alleviate the strain that life-threatening illness places on sick children and their families. But before we begin, remember, if you're new here to this podcast, press subscribe on YouTube or in your podcast app. Now, welcome, Birgit, and let us know more about you guys.
Thank you so much. Yes, so Reach for a Dream is 35 years old. We started back in 1988 when Owen Parnell, who was part of the Rotary Club in Johannesburg, he was in a dentist waiting room and he was reading a Reader's Digest article about Make-A-Wish Foundation in America. And he was so inspired about the work that they were doing over there that he wanted to bring it to South Africa. And he researched it and he took it to his club. And they decided, yes, there is merit in this. And they decided to make a dream come true for J.C. Steinman, who was a little boy undergoing treatment in hospital. And that little boy wanted a pony ride and to ride on a motorbike. And the Rotarians got together and they took him out for this wonderful birthday celebration and made his dream come true. And after that, they just continued. And a couple of years later, we were established as the Reach for a Dream Foundation. And ever since, we've been making dreams come true for children who are between the ages of 3 and 18, who are diagnosed with severe life-threatening conditions. So those could be the likes of cancer, brain tumors, kidney failure, liver failure, to rare diseases. There's a number of them, but the bottom line is that it needs to have that, it needs to be very critical and something the doctor deems is life-threatening.
Birgit, could you guide us a little bit through these challenges? Because all of these diseases that you mentioned, these conditions that you brought they are in fact life-threatening, and this must pose a burden that I hope most of us have no idea really what it is about. So, what are these families and these kids fighting against besides the condition?
Yes. So I think a lot of our children today come from previously disadvantaged backgrounds. A lot of them don't have a lot of money to go to private healthcare institutions, and they go to public hospitals, often using their last 20 Rand or $2 to take their children to seek medical help. A lot of the parents, I think, do not expect a life-threatening diagnosis. Many of the parents, in fact, and I was speaking recently last week to a parent, there was no symptoms. There was nothing to give a hint that their child would receive such a diagnosis. That child in particular just had a sore shoulder, and the mom was treating it as a sports injury until the child was just in so much pain, took it to the doctor, went for a scan, and they found out that she, at 11 years old, had a type of bone cancer that had progressed to stage 4 already. Overnight, their life completely changed. The mom, obviously, the parents are working parents. They have full-time jobs. There was a sibling, and I'm just using this as one of the examples to bring it to life. There was a sibling who was a little younger, 9 years old, and their day-to-day just completely changed. They needed to go into the hospital. The child received chemotherapy. So as a kid, being pricked by needles and receiving chemo, it often makes you feel nauseous. It makes your hair fall out. You don't have energy. And obviously from a parent's side, to hear that your child has something that can be considered life-threatening is a huge shock, and devastation. And a lot of these parents, try to keep it together. They have to for the family unit, but it's incredibly difficult. And then also just for the children, they often, if they are checked into hospital to receive treatment, which many are, they miss out on the joys of childhood. So they miss out going to school. They don't get to play with their friends or kick a ball or have those magical childhood experiences, which I think most adults can relate to. That makes being a kid so fun and so wondrous about the world. So where Reach for a Dream comes in, and what we do is, we, once a child has been referred to us, we go and sit with that child and we ask them, just by themselves, what the dream in their heart is. And we find out all sorts of information that only children can impart about their favorite color, what they would do at their birthday party. If they could do anything, what would that be? Some want to fly in a helicopter for the first time. Some want to get a little ride on car because they just love BMWs or some type of vehicle make that they just want to have. Others are simple dreams. One dreamer recently wanted just to go to the beach and to touch the sand and to smell the air. She had never been. And she was a teenager, so we organized that. Another child had never had ice cream at the age of 16 and just wanted to taste an ice cream. So these dreams are, some are big, we've made some big dreams come true. Some are small, but they are all what that child deeply, deeply wants in their lives. And by making their dream come true, we try to take the child outside of hospital and give them what we call a dream day, which is filled with fun and totally tailored directly towards that child's wants and needs and favorite colors and favorite foods. And we bring that dream to life. And we often do it in a way that is quite surprising, so they're not expecting it. So that joy, that immediate smile that you get from a child on once they receive their dream, it's unbelievable. But the joy about dreams and dream fulfillment is that the impact lasts well beyond just that day. Maybe to give an example, there was one dreamer that we referred to as Mr. President. We received a call on a Friday afternoon that this child was going downhill fast, and that the doctor thought that they wouldn't make it through the weekend. So we needed to act extremely quickly and make this child's dream come true. And this child wanted to meet Nelson Mandela, who was the president at the time of South Africa. And we made it happen. The very next day, Madiba, as we call him in South Africa, visited the child. And this child's whole life changed that moment. And the smile and the hope and the strength that came from that meeting powered him through. And ever since, on that Monday, the doctors reported back and said he's a totally different child. He's recovering, and today he's a teacher. So there's something in the magic of that dream. If dreams can come true, seemingly impossible dreams, then anything is possible. And what we intend to do through the process is to really give the child that encouragement, to give them hope, because it's an extremely dark time for them and their families, to give them that hope and that strength, courage to fight their illness. And many do rally, and those are the ones, that's we're extremely inspired by. These kids are amazing, and they are so resilient and brave that they inspire us every day.
Wow. I'm gonna make a short pause because I think I'm quite moved, especially this story that you told, because it is so powerful. I think we are so used to, the strains of life, and we have to fight to get our things, and then we don't really see the value of one very deeply meaningful and very much desired act and dream
Yeah.
in a person's life, especially in a kid's life. So it's really beautiful, this work that you guys are
Mm.
doing. And I think there is an extension, like a ripple effect of it, because it's not just the kid that is affected, right? The family comes with it, comes together in this, because I think for a parent to see their children fighting, struggling and all of this, it's so hard. But then when you see this point, this light of hope, it's something else all completely. And trying to come back to with professionalism to this interview. Uh, we were talking before, and you mentioned
Mhm,
that you are expanding, right, the actions to improve
mm,
this well-being, to improve this
mhm,
health that you are providing. Um,
mhm,
so let's talk about what are the programs that you guys have right now,
mhm,
because making those dreams come true, it's a beautiful thing. I will stand by this. But you are also providing, I think, vital changes with
mhm,
for them, with the environment, creating community. So what do you have going on right now?
mhm. So beyond dream fulfillment, we also run various projects, and these projects are really designed to give the children and their families support, ongoing support after that dream has been fulfilled. One of them is called Laughter Heroes, and Laughter Heroes has been going since 2007. And if people have watched the movie Patch Adams, it's quite similar. And actually, I think was inspired by Patch Adams himself. It's called clown therapy. And what we do is we've got these various individuals who are called therapeutic entertainers, and their main role is to go into hospital wards and to just make these children laugh. Um, they say that laughter is the best medicine, and we believe that. It lowers your blood pressure, it decreases stress, it eases tension. There are a number of medical facts that back why laughter can help in recovery, and we've seen this firsthand. So we've got 7 laughter heroes currently. We're expanding the project this year thanks to our sponsor Sandvik. But yeah, these guys just go through, some of them have these little tricks. They've got little balls they put on the kid's nose, called spondylitis, and they have a big giggle as to, what your teacher would say if you had to go to school with this thing on your nose, and they all laugh and they all get together, and just that the laughter in the wards in the hospital environment is just magic. And it just helps these children cope. Some of them, obviously need to go for chemotherapy or have treatment later that day. It takes their mind off it, and it really does help them heal through that laughter. So that's one of our projects. The other is dream rooms. So dream rooms are rooms, as the word says, in hospital wards that we've turned into almost oases for children. So it's a little sanctuary that is full of children's toys, devices. All children these days love technology. So things like PlayStations to laptops to computers, in these dream rooms. And they are just really places where they can be safe, comfortable, and away from their hospital ward and their bed. Because I mean, if you think about it, you're a child in hospital, you're used to running outside, now you're in bed, you have absolutely nothing to do with your time. A lot of these kids don't have devices and cell phones and entertainment. They're literally staring at the roof. So this provides them with some distraction, some normalcy in their lives. They can also go specifically with the teenagers. We found they go into these rooms and they can have that family time away from everybody because it's quite a public space. There's, other the wards might get busy, so you can have that one-on-one time with your family. And it's also an area where we can do some dream assessments. If there are children we can't take out of the hospital, we can unveil their dream in the dream room. It's just a happier space. Then the third project, which we've just launched in February on International Childhood Cancer Day, is the Dream Club. And that Dream Club is basically we gather a group of dreamers together and we take them on an outing, or we sometimes do in-hospital activities, and we theme these around different areas. So one could be themed around hope, another courage, another family time, another confidence. And these are really designed to get kids who understand each other, who and don't judge each other. Or sometimes children can be a bit mean, who aren't going through a therapeutic journey like chemotherapy. So it's really a safe environment for them to bond and for them to get those feelings. So, for example, courage is when they're going acro branching, which is basically those slides across the trees. Um, and they feel brave and they feel, I could do that. And that's the sense we want to nurture in these children. Others are family time, taking families away to get away on, to the beach together so that they can just enjoy some downtime away from this incredible tough treatment, their stress, their worries. They can just be a family again. So that's another project. And and we keep on going and continuing to move from strength to strength, and we touching various children's lives and families through this process and the work that we do.
And I think you're touching them in such meaningful ways. I think the word of today's interview is meaning. It's because the impact that you have, it's absolutely huge and it's deep, and it touches in points where, again, we take for granted. Like, we know how important it is to have friends in school, but in situations like this, your friends might not be in your school. You need to find other groups, find your own community, right? People that share common things with you beyond interests, that know, just by looking at you, we're going through the same thing, so let's bond together. So it's really, really deep. Thank you so much for doing that. Now, one important thing is to think of the future, right? Because we said, let's make dreams come true for the children, but let's make dreams come true to you guys. So what would be like the next steps for Reach for a Dream after all of these things that you have been doing? What is lying ahead for you guys?
For us at Reach for a Dream, our primary purpose is to make dreams come true for every child with a life-threatening illness, giving them hope to believe that tomorrow is worth fighting for. And last year, just to give you an indication, we made 2,067 dreams come true, but there's so many more children we want to reach. So I think the next step in the growth of Reach for a Dream is to just create awareness like we're doing now of what we do and our services, and get those referrals coming. So anyone can refer a child to us. They can do that through our website. Doctors, nurses, anybody who knows a child with a life-threatening illness can refer. I think the second part of that is looking at a fundraising point of view and enabling us to do more. Whether that is have more dream rooms, to having more laughter heroes in the hospitals, to hosting more dream clubs, just do more, because the impact that we make it's unbelievable. We've had fantastic feedback from our dreamers, and we do regular surveys of how they're doing and the impact. It makes such a huge difference. So we just want to keep growing and reaching more children at the end of the day and impacting more families.
That's amazing. And tell us now, how can we help you guys reach that, keep moving forward? What are the best ways to help you guys?
I think in terms of needs, obviously, as a nonprofit organization, we always appreciate donations. Those donations are used largely for dream fulfillment. Each dream costs about 10,000 Rand on average. I think it's a charity organization who's run completely on the generosity of our donors. Donations are critical to help us continue to fulfill dreams. So people can donate on our website, which is www.reachforadream.org.za. And all those funds go to dream fulfillment. There are also other ways for companies based in South Africa and individuals here. They can give gifts in kind. So if there's anybody listening who owns a helicopter and wants to offer a helicopter ride to one of our dreamers, we are always so grateful and appreciate for those services. Um, some donors give us cell phones and laptops and tablets. Those are quite popular nowadays with our youth, always wanting to be digitally connected. And it provides that communication line to the parents who often don't, or who live far away from their kids in hospital and don't get to see them. So those types of devices are always critically needed. Other ways are to volunteer. We've got a volunteering page on our website too, where people can get involved. Also, they can volunteer their time in terms of services or help with dream fulfillment itself. There's lots and lots of different ways. I would just suggest that people visit our website and see how they can support. Every little bit goes a long way, um, and will absolutely have a life-changing impact on a child.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for joining us today, Birgit. It was a wonderful conversation, and we'll make sure to add the link to your page here in the description of the episode to make it easier for people. And no excuses. The guys gotta have to get in touch and learn more and engage, help out in any way we can. Thank you for this, Birgit.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
It was a pleasure. And for everyone watching or listening to us right now, also, thank you so much for staying with us for one more episode. And remember, if you liked it, press subscribe, share it with your friends, help us spread the word about the importance of Reach for a Dream. Bye, check their page, and I see you in the next episode.